All right, let's get into session 15. And look, if you thought a dragon attack was the absolute peak of chaos for our heroes, you have no idea what you're in for. This session, this one was a real turning point. It takes the party from, well, some disastrous public relations to the depths of an ancient tomb, where they uncover secrets that might just rewrite their entire destiny. So we kick things off in the town of Phandalin, right? A community that is just, completely traumatized from a dragon attack. Our heroes, fresh off their big win, they decide they're going to help the town grieve. The problem is, their idea of helping looks an awful lot like re-traumatizing everybody, and it all starts with a very, very bad idea for a tribute. The first act of this session is basically a masterclass in how not to win friends and influence people. Every single thing the party tries to do to console these poor, grieving townsfolk just spirals into more chaos, more terror. Let's just break down this whole comedy of errors. The sheer scale of the failure here is it's breathtaking. First up, Radir decides the best way to honor the fallen is with fiery eldritch blasts. We're talking raw magical energy explosions, as a kind of 21-gun salute. Yeah. The sound of explosions less than 24 hours after a dragon attack, it went over about as well as you'd think. Then, Whiffer gets his sister, who's a tiefling, to do a soothing flyover, but when she transforms, her demonic heritage comes out, and all the terrified townsfolk see is a literal devil descending from the sky. And while all this is happening, Vetrovia is giving these moving eulogies, which she's also using to subtly campaign against the current mayor. You really can't make this stuff up. And just when you think things cannot possibly get any weirder, a new phase joins the party, a 16-year-old healer named Teach. So what's his first official act? He uses Mage Hand, a simple telekinesis spell, to just yoink a healing potion from a volunteer who is actually trying to help the wounded. And his second act? Staying up all night playing his lute, making himself completely exhausted for the big journey ahead. What a great start. So, with Phandalin now sufficiently terrified of its own heroes, the party finally hits the road. Their goal is to find Whiffer's parents' lost lab at a place called the Dragon Barrow. But, as you can probably guess, the road there turns out to be just as grim and morally complicated as the town they just left behind. Along the way, they come across a group of people. To be specific, 15 starving refugees who are fleeing the city of Neverwinter. They are so desperate, so hungry, they've actually started eating from a patch of poisoned pumpkins. Whiffer, seeing this, tries to help. He tosses them some of their rations. And this is where everything just goes horribly wrong. A few rations, it wasn't enough. The refugees, in their desperation, they swarmed the party. They actually stab Vetrovia, who was in her horse form, to try and get more food. And that attack, it triggers something dark, something brutal in Radir. With that vengeful spirit Zarathos roaring inside him, he doesn't just defend the party, he slaughters them, all 15 of them. It was this terrifying glimpse into the darkness that Radir is constantly fighting to control. And to make it all worse, 2 travelers saw the whole thing before riding off. You just know that's going to come back to bite them. After that horrifying ordeal on the road, the party finally makes it to their destination, the Dragon Barrow. And it is wild. It's this massive hill literally formed from the ancient skeletal remains of a dragon. After a bit of poking around, they find it, a hidden spiral staircase leading down, down, down into the darkness, and right into the heart of this session's next big challenge. As they're going down, Radir feels this warning from Zarathos, the spirit of vengeance living inside him. He senses a demonic presence, something ancient and deeply corrupt. And Zarathos recognizes it. He calls it one of his brothers, another entity that's made this burrow its lair. The party is walking right into a trap. And boom, the ambush is sprung. It's a basilisk, a monster whose gaze can turn you to solid stone. On Zarathos' advice, they all fight with their eyes squeezed shut. It is absolute chaos. Our new healer, Teach, almost immediately gets his legs petrified. But then there's Whiffer, fighting purely on instinct, who lands this incredible 4-attack combo completely blind. But the real turning point is when Radir gets knocked unconscious, because that triggers something new. A dormant personality inside him, known as Tog, the demon monk, just takes over his body and instantly blocks a devastating blow from the beast. So the basilisk is defeated, and that frantic, chaotic energy of the fight just gives way to this quiet sense of awe. Because our party is about to learn that this barrow isn't just a tomb, it's like a library of cosmic secrets. And the battle they just won has some truly massive implications.
The spirit that comes out of the basilisk's corpse is necrosis, the spirit of corruption, and its appearance reveals the true stakes of everything. Turns out there are 4 of these primordial entities, these parasitic beings that need mortal hosts to exist, the 4 horsemen. And yes, Zarathos, the spirit of vengeance inside Redder, is one of them. They didn't just kill a monster, they killed his brother. And this huge discovery connects directly to a prophecy the party found a while back. It talks about 2 champions rising from one fused soul, one with a radiant glow and the other with the infernal fires of hell. Suddenly, this isn't just a random adventure anymore. It really seems like our heroes are the central players in some ancient, prophesied cosmic war. So you've got to be asking, whose tomb is this anyway? Well, it belongs to Lady Elgandor, a legendary hero who died over a century ago, saving Neverwinter from a dragon. And here's the kicker. She was a former host for Zarathos. She was a ghostwriter, just like Reader is now. For Zarathos, this isn't just some dusty tomb. It's a memorial to a fallen comrade. It's this incredibly rare, sentimental moment for a spirit of pure vengeance. So, armed with all this incredible new knowledge, the party pushes deeper into the barrow, still searching for any sign of Whiffer's parents. And what they find, well, it leads us to the session's absolutely jaw-dropping final moments.
Deep inside the tomb, on a squire's casket, Whiffer spots a familiar symbol, the crest of the Brightblade Iron Company, his parents' company. When he places his family charm into that crest, you hear this grinding sound, a hidden mechanism triggers, and an entire wall just slides open, revealing a massive, secret laboratory. He finally found it. As they step inside, they find a research log. It belongs to Whiffer's father, Rickard Ironton, and the very last entry is just chilling. He wrote it after his wife, Mila, became pregnant. He's terrified that their research is tied to a prophecy and that his unborn child, Whiffer, is meant to be some kind of sacrifice. Just imagine reading that, right as you walk into what you know is a trap. And yep, it is a trap. The second they enter the lab, gas floods the room. Before anyone can even react, vines shoot out from the floor and the ceiling, wrapping around the entire party, ensnaring them. They're gassed, knocked unconscious, and completely helpless. As their vision fades to black, a figure emerges from the shadows. It's a mysterious woman, a witch of some kind. She looks down at our captured heroes and delivers one final, chilling line right before the session cuts to black. And that's where the session ends, leaving us with these massive, critical questions. Who is this woman guarding the lab? And what in the world were Whiffer's parents researching that was so dangerous it needed a tomb, a monster, and a trap to protect it? Session 15 started with a series of blunders, but man, it ended with the stakes higher than they have ever been.